Hello? Is anybody out there? Can you hear me? Welcome to the 100 TV. Real conversations with real people. All of this has been an evolution. Right? Nothing about this journey is how I thought it was going to be. You know, shout out to the Free Game Society, man. Shout out to everybody, Team 100. Shout out to everybody that just keeps rocking, that understands what's going on here. We're just trying to make changes without compromising the truth, right? We're not up here just for the views. We're here for the impact. But, you know, you be the judge, man. Lock in with us. We can agree to disagree, you know. But regardless, we're going to keep it 100. You can't keep it 100 with anybody unless you keep it 100 with yourself, man. Let's be clear. You gotta come correct, man. They'll pick you apart nowadays, man. People doing homework, you know what I'm talking about? So when we talk, we talking from a perspective of experience. We talking through the life journey, our ups and downs. You know, we giving it to you that way, right? But who are we though, man? We just like y'all. You ready? Alright, well, come on in. We going in. The 100 TV. Y'all better tap in, man. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification buzzer, all that stuff, man. So when we live, y'all live, man. Become a part of the conversation, man. It's not my platform, it's our platform. 100. We just let that ride, man.
Peace to the planet Earth. This is the 100 TV. We Saturday Night Live with it, man. First and foremost, man, shout out to everybody. We reached over 100K views this month on the YouTube channel. Shout out to each and every one of you that's pushing the content forward, helping it do what it do. What we do, we have real conversations with real people. The platform, you know, I shout out the platform, anybody that's been a part of it. I met a lot of dope people for the first time, but also I love the part of the platform where I can introduce y'all to some people I know on a more personal level, man. This brother right here, man, we was in the trenches. A lot of brothers we work in warehouse, we do that type work. That's why I cross paths with this brother. I call it modern day slavery. I call it the picking fields. We was in there slinging, picking, all that good stuff. I was just talking about slinging off the garbage truck. But that's why I met this brother, man. Always been a good dude since I known him, consistent. And I rock with consistency, man. Almost got into it with my business partner, but we was able to, you know what I'm saying, work through that. And ever since then, man, we definitely been in touch, and you know, is the bond been growing, man. So without further ado, man, let me shout out. Matter of fact, let me stop shouting out. Let me go ahead and let the good brother introduce himself, man. BG, go ahead and introduce yourself, man, to the world, brother.
What's going on, world, man? This is BG, man. Here to show my good brother some love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been long overdue, man. We supposed to bang out together and did this, man. We finally getting it together. You feel me?
Man, right. And you're gonna be back. You're gonna be. I already know you're gonna be a
most definitely, man. Most definitely. I'm trying to be a second guest host. You feel me?
Hey, we up here. So I'm gonna get you on some panels too, bro. Matter of fact, we got word. I like it. One thing I like about this platform, man, we got people from all over the place. I'm from Chicago, VA, my second home, but as I say, Atlanta got my heart, man. Mm-hmm. This brother got roots in another city I love. I'm always talking about it. He like, yo, you crazy. This brother right here, he from Savannah, man. And the reason I like having people up here from different places is because we need to understand there's a lot of the same things going on everywhere you go. You might be from New York where it's 6+ whatever it is, the population. I might be from Norfolk, Virginia, where it's far less, but it's the same type of stuff going on, man.
Same thing everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
I already know, man. I want to get straight into it though on the Savannah thing. I know Savannah on the tourist tip. I go out there. I stay downtown. You know, in the old. You know, I go down to the Riverwalk. I go to Tybee Island. You know, but. I've been out at MLK. I went out there to the fish spot. I got me a fish sandwich at it's a small yellow restaurant. Yeah, I went to Shabazz. I sat out front. I had me a sandwich with the white because I'm all over, but I know I don't know Savannah though.
Yeah.
Tell the world like what is Savannah other than colleges, tourist spots, like what's going on? Because it's got a lot of art, it's got a lot of history. It's got a lot of stuff going on with it, but what, from your perspective, being from there, like, what's Savannah really about?
I mean, well, don't get me wrong. I love my city. I'm, like I say, born and raised, man. Spent my first 20 years in that joint, you know what I'm saying? So I love my city. Like you said, it's a good tourist spot, good place to retire at, you know what I'm saying? But, like you say, on that Riverwalk, man, you go a few blocks down and it do get nitty and gritty, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I like to call my city the crabs in the bucket effect. You feel me? Because there's not too much going on. If you're not working on the docks, if you're not working at international paper, building the planes at Gulfstream, you pretty much trying to figure out your way. You feel me? So, it's a beautiful city, man. But you can't get it twisted, not one bit. You know what I'm saying? To get real serious. You know what I'm saying?
It's two. What they say is two sides of every store. Two
sides.
Of every
Always, man. Like I said, it look pretty and it look good, but like I say, go a couple blocks over, man, and it get that. It get like that. You know what I'm saying?
I noticed like in certain spots because I had to learn this. I'm from Chicago, but when I moved out to VA, projects is different. There's projects everywhere you go, but they look different. In VA, that's the first time I went into. They was basically like row houses. And they was projects.
Mm-hmm.
In Savannah, I noticed certain spots where it was just like you driving by on your way to the Riverwalk or whatever, and you like, oh no, I ain't gonna turn down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like row houses or whatever. Is it what type of like culture? Because the latest we heard about, and I'm not even gonna get on that, but I'm what we know about Savannah. We know we heard about Quando Rondo. That's what a lot of youngins say from from that city out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it gang culture? Is it drug? Is it just city life? Is it just it is what it is out there that causes it to be the crabs in the bucket mentality?
I mean, far as me, I'm a little older than Quando and Lil Tim and a lot of them guys down there. I'm a lot older than them. So back when I was coming up, it wasn't too big on gangs. It was just all about neighborhood. Nowadays, man, these kids nowadays, everything is gang. You know what I'm saying? Everything everywhere is gangs. The Bloods, the Crips, and the Vice Lords and the GDs. It's just all about gangs these days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too familiar with the gang culture. I know I got a lot of family and things like that. And a lot of little young homies that's part of the gang culture. But me personally, I grew up in a whole different era. You know what I'm saying? It was all about really hoods, man. The hood I grew up in, you know what I'm saying? I grew up like on the south side. Like I'm originally off the east side, like Waters Ave and all that stuff like that. But I grew up on the south side, and a lot of us on that south side, it's more like a family. It's like a big old neighborhood full of niggas, you know what I'm saying? It was more like a family thing, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes that I grew up with, we still real close to the day, you know what I'm saying?
So do you remember a time where it started shifting? Like things started changing in your city? Because a lot of time when I talk to people, they're like, man, this happened and things started going. Or you think it just always was and it's just elevated now?
Really, like I said, it really always was the same. It's just now that this new generation, new era is more gang affiliated now. But it's always been the same, always been the drugs, it always been the, you know what I'm saying, certain guys, well, mainly all the guys down there. It's like my city, the type of city, man, like they don't really want to see you come up. It's not like Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta, everybody want to get together and click together and get some money. You know what I'm saying? In my city, it's kind of different. Like they going for the big fish in my city, you know what I'm saying? They, like people not really trying to get together and come together on some money tip, you know. So that's one reason why I got up out of there, because it's more they'll try to hate on you more than anything if they see you trying to come up. You feel what I'm saying?
That's why I got out of Chicago, man.
Yeah, man. I had to, like, it was just. Yeah, I love my city. Don't get it twisted. I love my city, man. But it's just like I seen bigger and better things for me. You feel me? And in my city, it just what everybody want to be a chief. Nobody want to be an Indian to play their position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to run the show.
I already know, bro.
Yeah,
so let me ask you this, because that, man, we can go on. I was talking about that earlier for about 2 hours or something. But because let me take a sidebar real quick. There are too many chiefs and not enough, and it's okay. Just because you were Indian in this situation, don't mean 2 minutes later you're not gonna be a chief in another, man. It's just about knowing when.
Exactly. And the youngins these days, they don't quite understand that, man. They just look at it like, oh, this nigga here, he got this and he got that, or he think he doing this and he think he doing that. Instead of just, just pulling up on him or just collaborate with him and see what he doing right and try to pick his brain, and he might give you some game, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to take or trying to see how you can come up off a nigga, you know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Yeah, because some of us be trying. I know I be trying, but it's crazy because the way the world is right now, man, you don't know who you can reach out to. You don't know who you could really, really get game to. You don't really know who you could expose some of your hand to nowadays, because the back game is crazy. You know, you seeing family members get, like, you just don't know, man. You gotta move with strategy and patience, because, man, it's crazy.
Let
me ask you this on your personal journey out there. Because you say you're 20 years. We talked about it. Everybody knows my story. I did time. They seen it on the bottom. You did time. How much time did you do?
Nothing slight. Just a little light vacation, man. I ended up doing 2 years on a violation, man. I caught a big drug charge back in 2015 before weed was what it is now, legalizing everywhere. I got caught up real bad. Yeah, I got caught up real bad, and I got pulled over. I was in Atlanta when this happened, though. I got pulled over, got caught with like 10 bags, and they hit me with intent to distribute and possession and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then I end up sitting in the county for because the county I was in, they end up dragging me, so I end up sitting in the county for 8 or 9 months. And by the time my lawyer got a deal, I just went over here. The first mistake I did when my lawyer came with the first deal, the 10 years probation. I'll never do that ever again. You feel me? The 10 years probation. Probation is not. Yeah.
We done lost BG. Let's see if he comes back, y'all. I see movement. His mic's mute. You're mute. Your mic is muted, BG. We live. In case you didn't know.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what happened. My microphone went on mute, so I don't know if you heard me or anything.
We did not hear you for the last 3 minutes, but we live, man.
Oh, okay.
I know we said 10 bags, and when you sitting in the jail, and how you would never do the plea again, or excuse me, the 10 years probation you was getting.
Yeah. But backtrack a little bit. Like I was saying, I end up sitting in the county for 8 or 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Then when my lawyer finally got that first deal, by me sitting in the county for so long, I was so ready to get out, so anxious to get out. I took the probation. Like I never do that. If I ever was to get, God forbid, if I ever get in trouble ever again, I never take probation ever again, because that ain't nothing but a trap for us. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get in trouble, I advise anybody not to get in trouble. But if you do get in trouble doing something you don't need to be doing, just go ahead and, man, take your time, man, and make it better for yourself, man. Come out and be a better person, because that probation, it ain't nothing but a trap for us, man. I wouldn't advise nobody to take no probation, no paperwork, man.
Let me ask you a couple of questions real quick on them two, on jail and probation. What jail? What county were you in?
I was in Clayton County, man, the wrong county.
Yeah, I had that. So tell everybody what Clayco like, man, and what's going on in Clayco jail in case they don't know, even though it's been a minute, but
yeah, it's been a minute for me, man. But when I was in there, man, more like some real live military type shit, man. Like you got to hit the wall and you can't look at the female COs, you can't look at the female inmates, and they coming through. They got the COs, they got the CERT team, they coming through shaking shit up. Goddamn, you get out of line, they gonna drop you on your head a few times. Like it's real crazy in there, man. Like it's real militant in there. Victor Hill, at that time, I don't know. Like I said, it's been a minute, but at that time, Victor Hill had it real fucked up in there, man. He had it real fucked up.
Did you do all your time in the jail, or did you touch prison?
Yeah, I touched prison, man. I end up. See, what happened was that when I first caught the charge, in 2015, right? So I ended up sitting in the county waiting on the court date for like 8-9 months. So when I finally got my court date and finally got my the first plea that they gave me, I went on ahead and took it because, like I said, I got tired of sitting. But in the midst of that 10-year probation, in the midst of that, I end up violating a few times. And my last violation, that's when they sent me up, instead of reinstating my probation, the judges meant like he was tired of seeing me, and he ended up giving me the 2 years straight. You know what I'm saying?
So when you went to prison, what was the biggest difference you seen from jail to prison?
Man, it's a big difference once you get to the big house, once you get behind the walls, man. You just got to follow protocol. It's all about really prison, man. It's all about rules, man. Protocol and rules, man. It's not like the streets, and it's not like jail. Like there's a lot of things you got to follow by. You won't survive in that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Especially these days in time.
He went back out again. I tell everybody, man, when you go to jail, or excuse me, oh, he's back. Your mic's back out again, good brother. But I tell everybody, oh yeah, your mic's unplugged, BG. He can't hear me. And he's still going. That's how we know we live. Your mic's still muted, BG. But I tell everybody, man, what he said. Prison is definitely about rules. Everybody would think that prison isn't about rules, that it's chaos. And don't get me wrong, it can get chaotic in there. But it's definitely about.
I don't know why my thing doing that, bro. I don't know why I keep hitting.
You getting called? You might be getting calls. That's why.
That's what it. I think that's what it is. Though, getting called.
That's why I said I put mine on D&D. I said.
Okay, then. I think is it too late to do that?
No, I don't think so. No, you good.
Hold on.
But I tell it, we live, bro. This is what live stream is. But I tell everybody, man, when I first hit the yard in prison, I got sent to a level 4. From jail to receive to a level 4. They made it really, I ain't gonna say that. It got really clear to me real quick that the prisoners ran the prison.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't really the guards. In the jail, it was the guards that was running. In prison, and wherever you was at, there might have been a protocol for the phones, might have been a protocol for XYZ. It just depended on the spread. But yeah, man. We can hear you now, BG. We can't see you, but we can hear you. Oh, he done froze up. We're gonna call him. We got technical difficulties.
You can hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's too late because once I try to put my DMB on, it mutes you out even more. So I think it's a little too late.
Okay. Indeed, man. But what were you saying about the prison yard rules and all that? Because I want you to really break that down. Because a lot of people, I don't think anybody's ever really said that prison is about rules on this platform yet.
Oh, it's most definitely about rules, man. Like if you it can be the simplest things that you don't do that can cost you your life in that motherfucker, man. So it's just all about first of all respect. That's the main thing, respect. Very few you dealing with a lot of different personalities, so a lot of people got real short patience, and they don't tolerate too much disrespect. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the main thing is respect when you sitting behind them walls. And you know, it's just like different situations. It really just depends on what situation you in and what dorm you in and who the tier rep and you know things of that nature, man. It just depends on where you at, really, man, and on how things can go and all the rules and everything you need to abide by while you back there, man.
Facts. Already. Hey, I was I ain't gonna say shell shocked, but when I went, and I tell everybody I didn't have it. I had when I first went to prison, it was kind of, you gotta earn your stripes a little bit. The rest of my bid, I didn't really have it too tough the rest of my bid. But when I got sent to Sussex to level 4, I'm sentenced to 19 years. I'm thinking I feel like I'm never going home. They send me, for my situation, they send me into a level 4 in building 1, which was probably 80 to 90% lifeless. These guys got 300 years. They put me in a cell with a dude, Omar Indusi, man. Rest in peace, man. Man, Omar had like 2 life sentences plus 38. And I'm in a cell with him. He a good dude, but he had been locked up for like 20 years already. He been bidden forever a certain way. So when I move in the cell with him, he's super neat. He got certain things. He get up 5 o'clock. He got a certain routine. And man, we used to butt heads at certain because he was kind of locked in already. He was institutionalized. I hadn't got there yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you
man,
can hear me?
What? Yeah, I could definitely hear you.
Okay, cool.
But what do you like? You mentioned on the simplest of things can get your life took. You know what I'm saying, in prison. What's some crazy things that might be along the lines of that, or you know what I'm saying? Just what's the craziest thing, or whatever it is, a situation you may have seen. I don't even know, because people always want to know
that. I've witnessed plenty of simple situations. Like we could talk all day about that. Like simple situations, I've seen too many of that. Like it can be as you in the cell with somebody. Like I said, you might be brand new in there. You know what I'm saying? You might never did a prison bid before in your life. And you might, like you said, you might be in there with a lifer or somebody that done been down for a few years. And it could be something as simple as you spitting in the sink and not cleaning
it up. I was just about to say that, bro.
Or pissing on the rim of the bowl. It could be something as simple as that can cost you your life, man. Something that simple. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it.
Oh, I done seen guys just waking up on the wrong side of the bed, and they get to clashing with somebody, and somebody end up losing their life, man. Like it's just simple things that can just trigger somebody behind the walls, man. It's real simple stuff, man. Real simple. It don't even have to always be big things. I've seen a lot of big things too far as with the gangs and money involved and people snitching and people paperwork and stuff like that. But I've most definitely seen the littlest of things, man, that got triggered off, man.
Yeah, one of the stories I tell people to illustrate how fucked up prison is. A friend of mine lost his life over a 5-inch black and white TV 2 days before he was supposed to go home.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
You know, I watched another dude. He got killed. Youngin, they sent him to the reentry dorm, and he got killed because he was stripping the floor in the pod, doing his pod job, and got some stripper underneath one of the cell doors where the old head lived, and had waxed his floor. And they got into it. Youngin ended up, and he beat him. He beat the old head up. Didn't want to fight him. Protected himself. Beat the old head up. Old head came out and unalived him. But yeah, over nothing. I be telling people you don't want to go to prison, man. You know,
that ain't the spot, man. That's really not the spot. That's why I try to talk to a lot of these young guys. Most of them don't like to listen, man. you got to think twice, man, before you react to certain stuff out here in these streets, man. You can't just go out here crashing out, man. I had a long talk with my cousin a few days ago. He had a little incident with his wife and a dude, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up crashing out on some shit. But I'm like, bro, like, he ended up not getting in no trouble at that time. But I'm like, bro, like, you got to think, man. You can't really just react like that, man. Like, you at the age right now, you a grown man. Like, everything don't revolve in physical altercations. Or
not only that, it doesn't revolve in physical altercations. It's you got to exercise intelligence. And your mic's muted again, good brother. He can't hear me. But you got to exercise intelligence, man. I think he's got to unmute his mic again. You definitely can't react and respond in the moment. Nine times out of 10, when you react,
I'm crazy calls, bro. My fault.
Hey, I already know, man. It's Saturday Night Live, man. It's Saturday, man.
Crazy calls, bro.
Hey, mine don't. I remember when my phone used to do that. My phone. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. But I'm telling you, like, I just want to get. I want to start transitioning out, right? We talked about we got talked about prison. We talked about the simple things, all that. But you touched on probation before we got into all this, and you talked about how probation is a trap and a trick. Explain to people, man, that's on probation. Explain to people's loved ones that might got somebody coming home on probation. Explain, like, what's some ways you can easily get tricked up? Like, what's the reality of probation, and what was your experience? If you want to, you know what I'm saying, go into it.
Man, to be real with you, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you, man. Last year not last year, 2 years ago when I first came home. I'd have been home like 2 years now. When I first came home, I did parole for like a couple months, and then I finally broke free. This is my first 2 years being free without probation, without parole, without nothing since I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And it feel good. It feel damn good to be free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to worry about peeing in no cup, or, you know, just all the, you don't have to worry about going to see these folks. They searching your stuff, and you don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
You can do whatever you want to do now.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do, and I feel good. Like I said, I haven't been free like this since my 20s, my early 20s. You know what I'm saying?
I got a buddy of mine. He up there in VA, but he did time for a murder. Came home off probation, and got his rights restored. Walking around with his firearm, vote, everything. I'm like, what the heck? I said, man.
Yeah.
But you said this is the longest it's been. Like, was it the probate? You was getting into the probation officer? Was you just in the mentality you didn't care, you was gonna live how you live?
Yeah, at that time, man, in my era, like I tell a lot of people, man, like, I really just started using my brain, man, like when I hit 31.
Me too.
You feel me? Because I was just doing I was just being reckless. I really didn't even care, you know what I'm saying? So I get the probation. I had money at the time. I paid the probation off, and I wouldn't even be abiding by none of the rules. I wouldn't come see the probation officer. I'd be smoking and failing drug tests, or catching more drug charges, because that's all I really got on my record is drug charges. So I catch more drugs. I just wasn't really caring about the whole situation in my 20s, man. It took me a few years to really get it together and be like, man, you know what? I need to change it up, switch it up, man, and really get all this stuff from behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I know, like, man, I know that hands down, my whole experience with the judicial system, everything, is like, I just want to be all the way free. I just want to be able to just
do what you want to do.
Yeah, and not for the wrong reasons. I just want to live, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't even gotta be for the wrong reason. You just want to be free. You just want to live. You don't want nobody controlling your life. You feel what I'm saying?
That's it, man.
You're a grown man. You want to have control of your own life. You don't want to have these folks telling you what to do and what time you need to be in and where you can't go and you can't do this, and you got to come in, want some money, you got to pay that. You don't want to have to deal with all that, man. That ain't nothing but a burden on you. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with all that, man.
So let me ask you this, because I want to transition to this part. You spoke on the difference between Savannah and Atlanta. Though shout out to Savannah.
I'm shout out to the Seaport, man. Shout out to all my folks out there, man. For real.
Most definitely. And the food like that, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the food better in Savannah than it is out here in the A. I'm gonna say that respectfully.
Man, good seafood, man. Good seafood, the best seafood in the world, man.
It's different out there. I mean, I love it. But you came to the A.
Yeah.
You spoke about how here people want to see you get on. So I get you already answered, but what's the biggest matter of fact, let me ask you this, because people are always talking about the A. That's how I'm gonna answer that question. People, a lot of time I feel like the A get a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the negative things that are said are true or false. I'm just saying a lot of times people don't focus on what's really going on down here.
Yeah.
A lot of people still want to come to the city. They still want to come down here, and they want to come down here to network. They want to come down here to get money. All these reasons. But what's the truth about the A? What's the misconceptions? What's the just if you tell anybody about your perspective of being in Atlanta?
I think the misconceptions about people in Atlanta, especially niggas, especially dudes in Atlanta, that they're soft and they're scary. But that's far from the fact. Niggas just like to politic and get money. It ain't about you being scared of somebody or you being soft or whatever. Motherfuckers just not really on that type of time. They on a lot of niggas up here really on some get money type time. And that's the type of time I'm on. I mean, all the gangster shit, rah shit. Niggas down here get like that too, but it's more money oriented here, man. Like people want to get money, man. People want to get some money.
Yeah. I love Atlanta in the summertime, the springtime, because you're going to see all the barbecue guys out with their grills on the back of the trucks. You're going to see the ladies with the soap powder. You're going to see the entrepreneurial spirit, the hustle
everybody,
spirit.
It's a hustle city, man. It's very hustle oriented, man. And where I'm from is not like that. Like in Savannah is more of a take. They're going to take it from you. You feel me?
Yeah.
They're going to take it from you. They see you got it, and they see you got it. And it could be dudes you grew up with. They see you got it, or they see you moving a certain way, and they feel like you ain't looking out for them, or they feel like you not doing nothing for them. They'll go out their way to try to take it from you or harm you to get it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, they run off with a gram, and they mans would have gave them the whole plug.
Exactly. You feel me? Like this little stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how certain places is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from Chicago, man.
I already know, man. Chirac, man.
It's like there's no love in the city. They don't discriminate. There was recently they just had 14 people get shot. The youngest was a 3-year-old. Hatred is everywhere in the city, and as much as I love it and miss it, and it calls my name, I can't go back home.
I don't blame you, bro.
I'm gonna go out there next year, take me a trip, go get some good food, you know what I'm saying? Say what's up to the good brothers and good sisters and get up out there.
One thing I know a lot of cats from Chicago, Chirac, and one thing I know, they don't mind pulling that trigger, man, at any given moment. They don't mind.
But it's sad that we had to be conditioned like that. And we got, you know what I'm saying? We all programmed like that. And a lot of people they say that to glorify. I say it to say, like, damn, like, I know the city messed a lot of us up. Like, I ended up, my story, I got sentenced to 144 years. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight, you know what I'm saying, to get back. And, hey, it was me. It was some decisions I made. But at the same time, it was how.
But let me ask you this question here. Was whatever you did, right? Like you said, you made your decision, but was it called, was 144 years, was that worth the sentence? Like, is that really worth it? 144 years?
No, when I look at it, hell no.
That's crazy. 144 years? Like, come on, man.
They could have let me out in one night. You know what I'm saying? I spent that one night in that cell, and I knew real quick. I was like, oh no. But see, I didn't get to come home. I didn't get to come home for 16 years, 11 months. So I had to think about it.
Yeah.
So nah, it weren't worth it. But at the same time, I'm gonna add this. I'm a firm believer that in order to be where you at, you had to have gone through what you're going through.
Come on, man. I'm a firm believer of that too, man. Like I tell a lot of people, like, the prison was it was one of my worst experiences that I ever had in my life, but I learned so much from it, man. Like, I learned a lot from it. I learned how to use my brain. I learned how to move and survive even more than what I was doing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a bad experience, but you learn so much from it, man. You learn a lot from that shit, man.
Yeah, man, for real, I grew up in prison. Like, I got locked up at 19, so I was still a teenager. And
exactly, you was still a kid, bro.
Yeah, I didn't come home to my 30s. So I learned about respect amongst men in there. I learned how to mind my business. I learned how to communicate. I learned how to navigate.
Learn how to be humble.
Yeah, learn how to be humble. Learn how to have manners. I learned how to be on point and observe.
On point. That's the number one key. In prison, you gotta be on point. You gotta watch what's going on.
Yeah, I learned, man. I know I don't know that I would be where I'm at for real. You know what I'm saying? Not even forget anything. I'm just talking about as an individual, as a person. Like, I'm like you. I don't think my mindset would be where if I didn't go to prison, man. And my mama told me, she was like, there was two things I remember, and they rocked me, but I get it now as an older guy. Yeah. She said, I'm glad you locked up, but not because I want you here, but because when I hear the sirens at night, I know they're not you.
Exactly.
Because at least now she knew where I was at.
Yeah.
And then another statement she made, she said, I believe wholeheartedly prison saved you. Yep. Because, man, I was living a different lifestyle. Some people had some stuff on me, on my head and all that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We didn't talk. When you in the streets, you in the streets.
Yeah, you in the streets. Exactly. Anything can go on in the streets.
I'm just glad I made it out, man. I feel like you, bro. Like, man, when I get to watch it, did you see the in the news recently about the young dude or the dude that got beat right here in Georgia by the police officers?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, when I see shit like that, I'm like, nah, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep running away from that.
Yeah, man. Stay away from the negative aspect of shit, man, much as you can, man. Because like I say, it's really not worth it out here, especially these days and time, man. Like this world is crazy right now, bro. So you really just gotta, that's why me personally, I like to deal with people that deal with fellas and dudes that's been to the chain game or been to prison and stuff like that, because a lot of civilians, man, they just move so reckless out here, man. Like, I be looking at certain people and I be like, man, you with the way you moving and the things you saying and the stuff you doing, man, you went for survive 5 minutes behind the wall, man. Like it's crazy how civilians move out here sometimes. I just be tripping. I be getting shell shocked off that sometimes. Like, damn, that's what y'all doing out here, man. Like, what's going on?
Like, and then they look at you like, I be getting into it with people that in my circle, not like, but I be like, yo, y'all like you didn't see that, you ain't, and then, you know, because you on, for me, I'm so used to being on point, and then as a man, you are protected. So I find myself frustrated because the world is crazy and I see things. I'm gonna tell you something crazy that happened today. Let's talk about today.
Let's talk about today.
We ain't gotta go too far back. Let's talk about crazy and today in this world. So anybody that follows my channel, they also know I'm a principal, which is crazy. But shout out to Last and Layers Beauty Institute, all that good stuff, man. Cosmetology Institute. Student walks in. Guy walks up to the school, and I'm like, okay. Men come to the school all the time, but this guy, he kind of looked like something was going on. Walks into the school, and he goes in his pocket, which I'm still not nervous because I'm like, we're in school, maybe pulling, I don't know what's going on. And he pulls out a ring box. And this is like 8:30 in the morning. He says, in his eyes. Can you give this to such and such? I ain't gonna say the student's name. Can you give this to such and such? It's hers. I was like, do you want to give it to her? And he was like, no. So I was like, now this was crazy. I'm looking at this dude. I can see something's going on. And what it was I guess he just had a breakup with one of the students or whatever. And he came up there with the ring. And my wife is thinking that it's a happy moment. Oh, I'm gonna go get her. Oh. And I'm like, yo, this is somebody that's unstable. And that's just an example, man. When it comes to the world and getting people to pay attention and stay on point, I'm always like, yo, the world is different now. You can't operate in the same way you did 5, 10, 15 years ago. You can't even drive the same way. You can't honk your horn at somebody a certain way. I don't know, some feedback on the mic. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good. Let's see if we get you back.
Hold on. Your thing breaking up kind of bad. Hold up.
But nonetheless, man, this is definitely a different world. Man. I think when I want to speak in it, when he says civilians, he's talking about individuals that never been incarcerated behind the wall, etc. Because I know somebody had asked that question when somebody else had used that term.
You can hear me, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna have to hold it up a little bit because my phone's starting to die out, so I couldn't quite hear you that much.
We getting ready to bring it to an end, anyways, man. We definitely gonna have you back up here, man. I know we definitely, minus technical difficulties, get you up here for a round 2.
Most definitely.
Real quick, man. I just want to ask you this because I always give everybody an opportunity. We touch a little bit on everything, but what's one thing? Because a couple times you went back to telling dudes about something positive. What's a lesson that you learned, or just a lesson in general you want to pass on to anybody willing to listen?
Man, stay focused, man, and stay focused, stay positive, and whatever you want to do out here, man, don't let nobody stop you from trying to do it, man. Whatever you want to do, as long as it's on a positive aspect, man, do what you got to do, man. Don't let nobody sidetrack you, man, from your hustle or you doing what you got to do to better yourself and take care of your family, man. That's the only advice I can give to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Big facts, man. Again, man, shout out to the good brother BG, man. A few technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah, a little technical difficulties, man. But the next time we gonna get it together, man. Like I said, we're gonna get it together more better. It's more, like I said, they're gonna get it
together. I appreciate you pulling up because you out there in the whip, you moving. You know what I'm saying? You out there, you doing what you do, man. So definitely appreciate you pulling up. We're gonna get you back up here ASAP.
Man, whenever, man, just let me know, bro. We gonna like I said, we got some other little things to politic on too off camera, but we'll talk about it, man. As far as getting other things on the podcast, more on a more on a broad base. You feel me? So we'll talk. We'll get it together.
Let's talk, man. Let's get it together, man. Most definitely hit me up, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to the world, man. Peace, love, and blessings. Nothing but positivity. If you in the streets, man, message to y'all. There is no reset button.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, I get it because I was there, but at the same time, I don't. Y'all done seen enough of us fall, you know what I'm saying, to the wayside that you don't have to do. Wise man once said, a smart man or one that's full of knowledge learns from his own mistake, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
And that's real. That's real.
Yeah, learn from the mistakes of others so you don't have to learn from your own mistakes.
That's real.
On that note, man, shout out. We got Alexander Dunning, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the bigger platforms that are starting to rally behind. Not just D100 TV, but other platforms. Hey, Dunny, he's got over 1 million followers just on YouTube. I don't even know what he's got on the other platforms, but he'll be up here Tuesday at 6 p.m. Excuse me, at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we definitely get into that. Shout out to Freddie Williams, be up here Thursday at 6, as well as On Deck KT, man. Shout out to the whole conglomerate. Shout out to Free Game Society. Shout out to everything. We got a lot coming in 2023. If you want to get involved with the platform, don't hesitate to direct message on the IG or any of the info. You can hit us in the comments right here. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Until next time, man. We out of here, man. Be safe.
Shout out to all
living.
the real ones, man. All the real ones that stay positive, man. Out here handling their business, taking care of their families, man. Shout out to them.
That's it. Shout out to everybody, man. Facts.